Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, March 7th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with All Elite Wrestling news. The company staged an angle last night at the Hollywood premiere of the movie Queen of the Ring with Mariah May attacking AEW World Women's Champion Toni Storm on the red carpet. Storm plays 1930s World Women's Champion Clara Mortensen in the film opening today, which tells the story of the legendary World Women's Champion Mildred Burke based on the book of the same name. During an AEW Revolution media call yesterday with Tony Khan, the AEW president commented on the recent unprecedented release of several AEW talents. Khan was asked by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter to comment on the release last month of Ricky Starks, Ray Phoenix, Malachi Black, and Miro, and had this to say.
Philosophically, you're right. It changed from what I've been doing, but it just felt like the right thing for the company and everyone involved at this point, and that's the thinking behind that. But like I said, it's on a case-by-case basis, and they're all different situations, but in this case, those did have similar outcomes. So it's fair to ask and ask why now and why wouldn't have done that before. And, I just decided that's what I thought was the right thing to do at this point. But it's definitely fair to ask, but that's really all there was to it.
In ratings news, AEW Dynamite last Wednesday drew a viewership of 600,000 at TBS, according to WrestleNomics. That's up slightly from last week's audience of 598,000. The show also drew the lowest 18 to 49-year-old demographic rating in its regular time slot for the show's history, coming in at 0.13. That's also down from last week's demo rating of 0.18. TNA Wrestling presented Impact last night on Access TV and TNA Plus, featuring matches taped on February 21st in Winter Park, Florida. In the main event, Joe Hendry retained the TNA World title against Ryan Nemeth. During a promo segment, NXT champion Oba Femi got into a brawl with the System, resulting in Moose laying Femi out. In a six-man tag team match, the Northern Armory defeated Ace Austin and the Rascals due to a distraction from NXT's Wes Lee, Tyson DuPont, and Tyreek Igwe. TNA World Tag Team champions the Hardy Boys defeated the Colognes by disqualification in a non-title match. In other results, Savannah Evans beat Zaya Brookside, Mike Santana went over John Schuyler, and Elijah defeated Brian Myers. After the match, the System attacked Elijah until Joe Hendry made the save. Ring of Honor streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped on March 1st in Oakland, California, and on February 26th in Oceanside, California. In the main event, Athena made a successful defense of the ROH World Women's Championship against La Catalina. In other selected results, ROH World Tag Team Champions Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara beat John Cruz and Olamude in a non-title match, and Blue Panther Jr., and Dark Panther defeated Euphoria, Gran Guerrero, and Valente. Turning to Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling presented its 53rd anniversary show yesterday at the Ota City General Gymnasium. In the main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Hiroki Goto retained his title against Hiroshi Tanahashi. Other title matches saw IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion El Desperado successfully defend against Francesco Akira, and El Phantasmo retained the New Japan World TV title against Master Wato. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.